Beijing has accused U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken of smearing China. It says Washington is trying to suppress its development. This comes after the top U.S. diplomat called China the most serious long-term challenge to the international order.
布林肯国务卿的这篇演讲，洋洋洒洒，费尽心机，实质是散布虚假信息，渲染中国威胁，干涉中国内政，抹黑中国内外政策。 目的是遏制、打压中国发展，维护美霸权强权。中方对此强烈不满，坚决反对。
And Olivia Xiong joins us live from Beijing. Olivia, Mr. Blinken insisting the U.S. is not looking for conflict or to start any kind of Cold War. Does China accept that?
Well, the words from the foreign ministry are that China hears what the U.S. is saying, but it is also looking to see what the Biden administration does. Now, Beijing for a long time has accused Washington of saying one thing and doing another. And in an editorial by the Communist Party-linked Global Times, it said that the world needs more than, quote, beautiful words from the U.S. Now, one of the major issues here is how Mr. Blinken has said that China is the only country in the world that has the intention to reshape the international order and increasingly has the ability to do so, citing how China has undermined this global order through trade or its maritime claims in the South China Sea or its relationship with Russia, therefore laying the framework and basis for the U.S. need to compete to protect this international order. But China's foreign ministry has taken issue with this because it says that the international order that the U.S. is speaking of are rules that have been made up by the U.S. and certain countries to maintain the U.S. dominant international order. The Chinese ambassador to the U.S., Qin Gang, said in a forum shortly after Mr. Blinken's speech that even though the U.S. is talking about competition, that this is actually malicious confrontation to get others to adhere to the U.S. rules or face the prospect of containment.
Olivia, as you say, words are one thing, actions quite another. Of course, very strong words there from Mr. Wang Wenbin from the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But what kind of action can China take beyond strong rhetoric like that?
Well, I think already in the last few days and, since the tensions between China and the U.S. have begun, we've seen China continue to move to become more assertive in its foreign policy. In the last few days and weeks, as we've seen President Biden make his visit to Asia, as he met Quad leaders and also unveiled the Indo-Pacific economic framework, we have seen China act. And the foreign ministry today, speaking of the Indo-Pacific economic framework, saying that the U.S. trying to get countries to encircle China and that the framework is a typical gangster logic that is doomed to fail. Now, analysts therefore say it's significant, the timing that the Chinese foreign minister is right now on a 10-day tour to the Pacific Islands, aiming to shore up support, and he aims to get 10 Pacific Island countries to sign a regional agreement that covers everything from trade to security, which has caused concern in the U.S. as well as in Australia about China's strategic ambitions in the region. We are also likely to continue to see China not wanting to back down on key issues that it says there will be no compromise on, for example, over the self-ruled island of Taiwan, especially after President Biden had said while here in Asia that the U.S. would be willing to act militarily if Beijing were to invade Taiwan. But China has made very clear that this is an issue where there will be no compromise.
All right, thanks to Olivia Xiong reporting to us there from Beijing.